Hi everyone, happy Sunday. I'm going to be careful to be kind of still because I'm moving and making that shake. Anyway, I just want to follow up from last week. What I want to do is kind of get through the first few months of what I was going through and talk about that in one video. And then next video, I want to talk about kind of the beginning of the year and what happened. So I just want to share some tips on living off grid. I'm going to be including an IEP on tour portion of YouTube as I finish my breast cancer share. There were a few more things that happened to me physically through these months. It was part of it. I was on a medication where I was very, very fatigued and really had a lot of pain. I had switched. I was on anastrozole before and it had given me some heart problems, so I'd switched to exemestane. I believe I had shared that. Anyway, I was having fatigue and some back pain from exemestane, and I'm going to get into that more, but what I want to share is kind of the beginning of my journey off grid. So it was pretty hilarious. So I went and bought this trailer. I know nothing about trailers. We went camping when I was little. We had a camper, like the kind that go on your truck, but it was in the 70s, 80s. They're very different now. So I got a quick lesson. I want to give a shout out to Neil's RV in Orem. They were really great. They had the most affordable trailers, like $5,000 to $10,000 less than everyone else, and they were very friendly and nice and helping me get things going. So I literally had to get something last minute. My funding came through at the end of August, and I was supposed to be out September 1st, and I couldn't pick up the trailer till like September 4th. It was like Labor Day or something. So I was really pushing it, and I was pushing them for help. But again, initially I tried to be in state parks and RV parks, but quickly found that just budget wise, I wasn't going to be able to afford it. It comes up to what rent basically is nowadays, $1,500 to $1,800 a month. Generally with utilities, the nice thing about an RV is your utilities are free if you're in a site with hookups, but those are $40 to $50 a night, sometimes more. The state parks are $40 a night for hookups. So sometimes I was staying in places without hookups because one of the things I did is immediately went solar. I bought a trailer with a solar connection, so there was a solar panel that powered the batteries if you left it out all day. I bought an additional set of solar panels because I also had to work. So this was a big part of my journey, is I had to work for a place that expected you to have a certain internet coverage. You had to meet a certain criteria to even be online for my job. You had to have a clear enough signal. So I got permission from my job to, I'd been through a lot. I told him, I've just been through a lot. I've been through cancer for the last 2 years, and my dad just died, and I just need to go away for the winter. And so I told them I wanted to go to southern Utah and wanted to get permission from the company because I was supposed to be within a certain distance from the VA in Salt Lake. And because the HR and the program manager immediately agreed. They knew what I'd been through, and I had just done a fantastic job setting up the training and doing training with people. And they had just gave training to another supervisor because they wanted to pass it around. And so I just like, I need to be out down there, and I'll perform the same job. So I went to southern Utah. And I was here for a little bit when it was first cold and beginning to snow. And one of the things I think that's a big concern in a trailer is because there are 2-week limits, pardon me, can I get out? Can I get out of where I go? So when you're dealing with snow and rain, sometimes you get into a place and you may not be able to get out because of snow and rain. But I discovered quite a few things. One of the things is I really wanted to be down in the Moab area, and I was going to go circle around there. But some of the first places I found, BLM land, that was really good was I found Hurricane Cliffs in Hurricane, Utah. And I belong down there. They have like recycling everywhere and protein alternatives everywhere, where if you're somebody like me that doesn't eat meat, or dairy. There were just so many alternatives. It was just really progressive thinking. And so I just really appreciated having a place to do my recycling that was just really handy. I did discover a few things. First, I discovered I was just really battling with solar panels. Like the days where it'd be rainy 2 or 3 days in a row. I learned I learned how to create a battery bank, because a battery bank stores battery power longer than a single battery. 2 batteries is better than 1, but 3 is the good one. Once you get to 3, 4 or above, they're pretty close to equivalent. So I did this with a lot of YouTube research. I also found that to fully charge those batteries, I needed about 200 watts. And so I got 2 sets of really inexpensive solar panels at Harbor Freight. They're the Thunderbolt. They're only a couple $100 for a 100-watt solar panel kit. If you get them, I recommend the briefcase, and I recommend taping down the cords in any Thunderbolt. Those wires break and come apart. I returned several. Harbor Freight has a great return policy, but if you just tape them down so that those wires don't wiggle, it's just better because they are portable. You're moving them around. So anyway, I learned how to do that. I learned how to get an inverter. I did things like melt a battery's the battery post and burned my finger really bad on it. I did things like, I learned that it's not just propane that runs the heater in a trailer. There's also an electric start. So if you let your battery run out, your heater won't work in the middle of the night. And so I had to make sure my trailer batteries were charged. So I had the 130-watt solar panel that came with the trailer. And then I needed a couple more. I learned how to drive and back up a trailer. I'm really good at backing up a trailer now. I didn't know how before, and I'm really great. I really do a really good job at it now. I learned a lot of things. I learned a lot of things about myself and how much I love nature. I think my childhood, the happiest places I had were when we were camping. And so now to live in nature is a phenomenal thing. And I can't wait to get to the story, to catch up to where I am now so I can start sharing pictures of my day-to-day life. Is just amazing now. I might even do some kind of photo montage one of these weeks. In fact, that's a really good idea. I'm going to do that. But I really learned that I could make it work. And I kind of know that about myself. I'm a person that I'll figure out a way. But I was doing all this and I was working so hard because of the job I had. Because there are a lot of places to be off grid. You can move every 2 weeks, and there are plenty of places in Utah that you can live off grid for free. There are gas stations that have water and dump stations available. There is so much available for free or for low cost that it'd be really easy to just live in a trailer. I wish I would have figured this out in my 20s, because this is the lifestyle that's right for me, that makes me happy. But over the course of learning that, trying to be someplace that was off-grid plus having a strong Wi-Fi signal was really tough. It was a tough winter that way. But I did go through the winter doing that. I was really happy. My dogs are happier. They like the smaller space more, which makes sense. They don't have to follow me around, and it's not territory. They're in a den like I am. So anyway, it was a silly journey, and I have a lot of funny things I could share, but I'm getting close to the 10 minutes. So I'm not going to keep going with those. I'm just going to say it was a journey, and I'll share details here and there as I go. But mostly I want to get to the point where realizing I lived this way from the beginning of September to, I'm still living this way, but it's different right now, all the way through March, the beginning of March. And I just, again, learned so much about living this way, and learned that it's what I love, and that I don't need more space than this. I don't need more stuff than this. So again, I'm selling everything on eBay. Also, that includes my Bug. So it's just not going to make sense off-road. So if anybody ever wanted that car, it is for sale, and it's way low in price, lower than I want to sell it for. But anyway, next week I'm going to share what happened in March. So I hope you all have an amazing Sunday, amazing week. I will talk to you soon.